Hey, what's up? What's up, guys? What's going on? Thanks for tuning into the ADSR music production channel. How are you guys doing? Where are you guys tuned in from? Let me know. Just waiting for a couple more people to pop in, but thanks again for dropping by. My name is Stranjah, and I'm a drum and bass music producer. And I'm here today on ADSR's channel to demo a new plugin called the BDE, which stands for Big Distortion Engine. Let me know in the chat if you guys are into distortion plugins. And what distortion plugins do you guys have? How's the sound of my mic? You guys hear me all right? Shouts out to the India crew. How's it out in India? What kind of music do you make, man? And yes, check the link that ADSR has posted. Today we are offering a discount on BDE. You save $40. It's normally $99 today. You can get it for $59 on the ADSR online shop. And we will be doing some giveaways today, so stay posted on that later on. Hey Syed, how you doing? All right. So yeah, I'm just gonna talk about BDE for a little bit before we get started. Let me just move my window down here. So yeah, it is a plugin by DJ Swivel. So he designed some plugins and some sample packs. And this one is an interesting one. It's a really well thought out distortion plugin. So there's a variety of parameters to really help you shape your distortion. And you get some pretty grimy results with a few clicks to the button. So really fun plugin to use, fairly easy, and you can get some good results quite quickly. Let me just scroll down here. So yeah, you can do mid-side frequency control. There's filtering. There's different distortion algorithms, so you get different sounds. Yeah, so there's different styles and stuff. So it's easy to use. Yeah, it's got a nice GUI. So once again, it's available on the ADSR shop for $40 off. So make sure you go to the link in the description or the one in the chat box. Either works. But let me pop up Ableton here. So yeah, let me know what kind of beats you guys want to hear today. I can try my best to accommodate your tastes. Let me move my window back up again. But I think what I'll do is I'll just pop open BDE on some sounds so I can just demo how you can use this on some typical sounds such as an 808. So what I'll do is, so Vital, so ADSR has a preset pack for Vital. So for those that don't know what Vital is, it's a very popular synth that came out recently. And one of the key things about Vital is they have different, packaging prices or price tiers, and that there's actually one that is available for free. So that's why people were so hyped about Vital recently, because it's kind of like Serum, except you can access it for free. Only difference with the free version of Vital is there are a limited number of wave tables and presets. However, what is provided is enough. There's plenty there. You can also import your own wavetable. So I have my Serum wavetables imported. So ADSR also just launched their own bass pack. And again, you can check it out in the link in the description. So a number of like dubstep influenced bass sounds, some drum and bass presets, So we can go through it and then use BDE on it. And yes, BDE, there is a trial version that you can use for 14 days. So feel free to grab the trial if you're not ready to buy it yet. Okay, so here's beat. Just make sure Vital is armed. So here's a couple 808 sounds from the ADSR sample pack or preset pack for Vital. Cool to meet a Bollywood producer here. I might use this later, this anxiety one, but I picked up a few that I liked here. So some pretty gnarly and even aggressive sounding bass sounds if that is what you're looking for. We're just going to use an 808 because I think it's a very foundational sound, which gives us material to then shape with BDE. So I'll use this one. I'm going to shape it a little more. I just want it to have a longer decay. So I'm going to go into, I believe it's in LFO or envelope. One of these is mapped to the decay. Let me just check the matrix. Yes, it was this preset. So I was playing with this last night, like this one. So you can go here. So this one, the LFO is mapped to the filter cutoff. So it trails out. So you can change the timing of this decay here by adjusting this over here. Give me 2 bars. Now, the problem with it is envelope 1 ends abruptly, so we just have to adjust the decay accordingly. And I'm just playing with the filter amount here for a nice clean 808 sound. How's that 808 sound to you guys? So I'll just make a quick sequence so I can just drop it BDE over it. I call this the dotted quarter note. Does anyone know what the dotted quarter note is? Oh, I have a beat for it too. I'll just solo it for now. Don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Let me bring it down to 140 BPM for a trap vibe. Put a quick trap beat over it just for some vibes. Let's see. Let me see if I have a trap kit here we can quickly make use of. This is the one I wanted. So Ableton has a bunch of their packs, which makes it easy to drop some ideas down. Just want a quick beat so we can get a little vibe before we add BDE on. Cool, we got a vibe here. Let's add BDE over the 808. So yeah, here it is. So the way you use this, first and foremost, this drop down here has a number of distortion algorithms. So this affects how the distortion sounds. And the main knob is in the center, and this is the drive amount. So if you click and drag up, it increases the drive amount. And you can actually see the value amount in this little window here. So as I increase it, it's now at 4 dB, and it goes to a max of 40 dB. So you can get pretty loud with it. But what they recommend before increasing the drive is you want to set so there's an input amount. So that's the left dial here. And then there's a right dial over here, which is the output. So, so the key to using this plugin is setting the right amount of input before you drive the signal, before you distort it. So there's a tool here in BDE that helps you find that optimal signal right away. It's this little magnifying glass. So this helps you, it automatically sets the input to the optimal level for BDE. So if you click it and then play your signal, it'll detect the right level. So click on it, play your signal, and uncheck it once you're ready. And notice the levels increased a little bit. It just pumped up the input a little more so it has enough gain before going into the distortion stage. So that's quite neat. And also they have this auto function here, which helps you with gain staging. So if you want to increase the drive even more, it balances the output so that the overall level is always the same. So this is neat. So if you have the auto button clicked, notice how the in and out change respectively, right? So that's helpful. But I'm gonna go back to here, find the correct level. There we go. Great, so now we can increase the drive. Now it gets pretty loud, so this is where we may want to adjust the output level. We'll go through the different algorithms here. So that was Nuke. Let's try Napalm. Let me know which one is your favorite. I guess I'll play it to you at a pretty high amount and go through them. So that's Napalm. Let me go back to Nuke. So Nuke sounds fuller, has more high frequencies. Here's Napalm. A little muted. Mortar. And cherry bomb. Which one did you guys like the most? I'll tell you mine in a moment. All right, well, my favorite was Molotov. I like my distortion a little muted. Almost kind of like a fart sound. Okay, the next thing with BDE is there is this kind of dynamics section. And this is more useful for more percussive sounds. So we're going to use this on some breaks and drums later to show you the potential of this. But essentially, this dial here increases or retains the dynamics of your signal. So say you have some drums that are punchy, when you distort it, it kind of takes away the dynamics and flattens that sound out. If you want to retain those dynamics, then you want to increase the threshold of the dynamic range here so that so right now it's at -64, meaning any signal over -64 dB, it'll try to retain the dynamics of those peaks or transients or whatnot. Nuke sounded best to take 5. Thank you for your input. Maybe I'll go back to it. So this is more useful for drums. You do get some interesting results with the bass. There's also the speed knob. I think this works in tandem with the range knob in that this is how long it takes for the dynamics to reset. Right. I don't play with this dial as much, so I leave it at default. They also have a compressor. So this dial here compresses the signal, and you can choose whether to compress the signal before going into the distortion stage or after. So that's what this pre and post indicator is for. So right now it's compressing the signal after. Again, this is more useful for drums, but I can show it to you with the 808. Let's bring back to pre. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's more useful for more dynamic material like drums. They also provide you a downsampler and bit crusher. So this allows you to create a more lo-fi sound, so you can decrease the sample rate. So you can make it sound more lo-fi. Same for a bit crush, it reduces the bit rate. Now there's also a filter, low pass, high pass and low pass filter. So this first band filters the signal that's going into your distortion. So you can select the range that goes in into the distortion stage. But since the 808 doesn't have many high frequencies, this won't really do anything. We'll show it to you when we move on to processing a break. here, this dark to bright dial is kind of like an EQ. So the farther right you go, the more high frequencies it adds. And then there's a post distortion filter. So this is what this does. It removes frequencies from the bottom or the top. There's also an option to do mid-side processing. So this option in the center but below the dial, if you click on it, then you can choose to process the side signal or mid signal. It's an option. I don't really play with this, but it's there if you want to experiment with it. And to go back to normal mode, just click on the MS button. Shouts out to Sud Soundpunks. Shouts out to the Germany crew. Let's go back to Nuke. Nuke is cool too. I just like to shave off some of those high frequencies. I'm just more into a muted kind of 808 sound. Someone liked the break beat over the trap beat. We can bring that back. Let me try another sequence of this 808. Sometimes I like a longer sequence, so let's make it 2 bars. And sometimes how they get that modern kind of trap 808 is they distort the hell out of it, but then they use a low or low pass to get rid of those high frequencies. So you get the harmonics of those, I guess, in the 200 hertz area. I want a little more melody to this. I'm gonna add some sounds on top of this just for a little more vibe. I kind of work better when I'm feeling more vibe to it. So feeling it so far, but I think we need a little bit of melody so we can flow with it a little more. Pigments is one of my go-tos for kind of lush synth sounds. So let's see if we can find something here. Signal's getting a bit loud, so I'm gonna. Drums are probably too heavy. Just a couple of simple notes. think we're in the key of G actually. I can transpose it if I bring it back down to 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 keys, 4 notes. Yeah, let's try it on some breaks. So this is the Funky Drummer break from James Brown. I'm gonna pitch it up a little bit first. And then we'll add BDE. All right, once again, find the optimal level to distort the signal. So click on the magnifying glass. Okay, and then check. So it looks like it needs a lot of signal. So if it goes to the max, then perhaps the signal is not loud enough. So we're gonna have to go back into the sampler, just increase the gain from there. So I'm just gonna bring it up to 0 here. Copy value to siblings. Okay. And then we'll hit that icon again. There we go. Okay, let's increase the drive. Okay, getting loud when you reduce the output. Okay, so this is when the range not dialed here is useful, because this is a more dynamic with all the drum hits, like the kick and snares. See how it tightens up immediately when I bring this range threshold down? Whereas without any dynamics, it's just the signal just gets smashed, and that's totally fine if that's what you want. If you want a really just smashed, aggressive signal, that's fine. You can leave the range at 0. But you may want, for some, you may want to control the dynamics a little, so it's a little more, well, for lack of better terms, dynamic. Now you have to be careful with this, because the further down you bring the threshold, you'll get some artifacts in the distortion. So you might hear that you're getting some unwanted artifacts. So it's a balance between adjusting this range and then playing with the drive amount. Another way to resolve those artifacts is you can play with this mix knob, which we didn't speak about. So this mix knob just adjusts the dry-wet of the signal. So you can bring back some of that dry signal. Yeah, and I find somewhere in between probably sounds better if you're going for this kind of sound. Let me just bring a VU meter so we can do some gain staging and just show you the before and after in a more, I guess, objective manner. So So I love this plugin. So TB Pro Audio's MV Meter 2. It's the free version. So I can put this, I guess, before, well, I'll turn off BDE. Okay. Since we're at -3 on the VU, let's put the distortion back on. Okay, so it's a bit too loud, so let me reduce it, reduce the output. Gain staging is my new favorite thing. It's something I never really paid attention to before, and actually someone on my YouTube channel mentioned about asked about how to do gain staging, and then there are more comments about gain staging that could help you perceive the before and after effect more objectively. And I've been totally obsessed with this process now. I tend to apply this just so I can hear, am I doing something good to the signal, or is it actually detrimental? Because sometimes when a signal just sounds louder, the human ear is fooled that it sounds better when it may not necessarily be the case. So that's why I do this. It's a great technique, and I encourage you guys to learn it as well. So that way I can turn off BDE and just... So on and off, right? We can play with the compressor. Let's go try pre. So it can control the dynamics of before going into the distortion stage. Now let me... Raise? Yeah, I think it's for the price. I mean, the fact that you can get it for $40 off today, it's not a bad idea. Again, you can choose what frequency goes into the distortion with this upper band here. So you may want to only distort the high frequencies like the hi-hats or shakers and the snares, so you can remove the low frequencies from the distortion stage. Sometimes when you do that, you get less of those distortion artifacts too. So notice when I have the band all the way down, the low frequencies are passing through to the distortion stage, and sometimes that creates unwanted artifacts. Let's try some of the other algorithms on this drum. So some of them I think require a little more drive. Yeah, I like napalm for this drum. Down sample parameter is fun. Just out of curiosity, I'm feeling adventurous here. What happens if we add BDE on something more musical? I have no idea, so let's see what happens. It could be bad, it could be good. Here goes nothing. That's kind of cool. Kind of makes it sound lo-fi. We have a lot of distortion on the drums and the bass, so I mean, if we were only distorting the musical part, then it'll be okay, but I think there's just a bit too much distortion right now. So I'll just turn it off, but cool thing to do, and I would encourage you guys to explore it on sounds like this. Hey, what's up, Flo Anastasia? Floist Anastasia is a good friend of mine. She's a talented vocalist. Check her out on Spotify, SoundCloud. She does really good drum and bass music. Very talented. I have some jungle patterns here too. So for drum and bass, probably want a more distorted sound. I have some other breaks here we can add to it. Let's see, what's this one? This break is from Spy's break pack. Shouts out to Spy for sorting me out with this breaks pack. Pretty cool break pack. This has a Dillinger kind of sound. Does anyone know who Dillinger is? Did we could just get a bunch more energies just now? Any junglists out in the chat room? Shouts out to all the drum and bass heads. Yes, A. For jungle, I like my 808s as a sample because then when you play higher notes, it's a shorter, sample. So, whoa, that sounds nice. Didn't expect that. But we could bounce this Vital preset from ADSR. By the way, if you're interested in grabbing this Vital preset pack, check the link below. Which reminds me, we are giving away one free copy of BDE to one lucky person today. And I'm going to ask you to, in the chat box, if you want to win a copy of BDE, then I want to see a habanero emoji. See if you guys can do it. Because this signal is hot. Who likes habaneros? Yeah, so let's bounce this 808 as a sample. So I have this audio from, it's going to take a signal from Vital, hit record. Great. So now I have a nice sample here. And, oh, I forgot to mention, we're going to randomly choose whoever posts a habanero. So far we have 2 people that have posted. And kind people ADSR will be randomly choosing the winner. Hot. Shouts out to Bala, VK. Shouts out, man. Good to see you here. How's everything going out in SG? So yeah, I have the sample and I'm going to import it into a sampler. Control-Shift-T to add a new MIDI track. Boom. So now I can pull this sample right into the sampler. And the key is G2. So just make sure you have the right key entered here. So on the root note, bring it down to G2. Great. So now I can delete the audio track. I can call this 808 sample. Come on, guys. I want to see more habaneros. If you want to win, you got to post one. Does that count? I think the red one counts. That's a green bell pepper. It's not spicy enough. Okay, so now I can bring this sequence here. And now I can pull BDE over into this 808. So you can just copy and paste plugins in. Lengthen this section actually. Oh. Thank you, Delvin. Yes, Troy. I want to see more habaneros. See how it sounds better when you go an octave up when it's a sample? Because it has to play the sample faster, so the sample length ultimately just goes through the sample quicker, so you get a shorter sample. It's fine. We'll count that as a habanero. As long as it's a chili pepper, as long as it's something hot, we'll count it. Let me put this into an arrangement. By the way, my name is Stranjah. If you're new to me, I do bass music and drum and bass tutorials, a lot of sound design and stuff like that. If you're into drum and bass, UK bass, garage bass lines, and I do all that type of stuff. And you can find me on my own channel. You can just search Stranjah. I'm easy to find. Thanks, Bala. Glad you like it. We need a drum edit here. Shouts out to Spy again for hooking me up with this breaks pack. So this break here is Spy. There's also a really good Ed Solo break pack that came out recently. He put it out for free on his SoundCloud, so check him out on his SoundCloud, Ed Solo. And I believe I have an Amen here, chopped up and ready to go. So I did some prep before I do the streams. It always makes the stream run smoother when I have some prep beforehand. Whoa, too fast. I love adding a filter at the end. Big up Ellis, good to see you here, man. Always needs an amen. The secret to life is amen. Answer to all our life problems is adding an amen. that wasn't the right way to add a filter. I forgot. Since we're on a sampler and there's different hits, easier way is just drag an auto filter. What happens if we add BDE onto Amen? Who's curious? Thanks, Miguel, for your chili pepper. Sounds quite nice on the Amen. It's too loud, of course. The new plugin is BDE, so this one that I was using. So it is a distortion plugin that has a number of additional features. It has a bit reduction section, so these two parameters here. It has a compressor. It also has a number of different distortion algorithms, so different sounds. You have a number of different filters to help you shape the distortion. So it's a really neat designed plugin, really easy to dial a few parameters and get some good sounds out of it. And you can use this on anything, on bass sounds, 808s, breaks, drums, melodies, whatever you want. Okay, let's hear this from the top. Oh, actually, I have another sample. Where is it? Yes, I have a vocal sample. Yeah. Maybe at the end of the phrase we'll add a ja. It's not jungle unless you have a ja sample. So I like to add it at the last hit. Maybe like that. Or here. Maybe make it louder. It is sounding grimy. Who likes grimy? Gritty, that is. Gritty and grimy. Needs a faster delay on that vocal. I don't like the reverb that's built in on this echo because you can't control the pre delay. Let's just use Ableton stock reverb, quick and easy. Let's try dotted. Yeah. Time stretch the vocal? Sure. Can you do that in the sampler? I actually don't know. Let me know. There's also some spy cinematic pads. Yeah, we can try that. Where's my jaw sample? So yeah, you can switch sampler to simpler by right-clicking it and switching it. The only problem is it goes into this multi-mode. I never know what to do in it because now you can't see the sample. Well, I'll leave it for now. If you guys have any tips how to get out of multi-sample mode, feel free to let me know in the chat. Maybe we can add another bass on that phrase. So let's try that out. Let's go into Vital again. Let's choose another preset from the ADSR preset pack. Shouts out to Based Boomer Chad Bear. That's an interesting name. I'll use this BS Anxiety preset. May want to filter a little bit. So my bass is here, so we can add Vital here. Probably needs a longer sequence, not just, well, what we can do. Introduce this here. Longer one here. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, it seems like I need a separate simpler to do that. We'll come back to it. Thanks for the heads up, guys. have to end this resample a little. It has a bit of release. Or we can go into the vital and just make sure the release is short. It is pretty short, so maybe there's some reverb here. Yeah, there's some decay. That's probably why. Shouts out to everyone in the chat. How you guys doing so far? We're an hour into the stream. I'm gonna just add a few more things and that'll be pretty much it. Basically, I just wanted to demo BDE for you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching me make a beat from this. See, I found some patch samples last night when preparing, but I forgot where they were. There was a nice one that I thought would go well with this vibe. Oh, that works. Oh, that jaw sample is playing twice. Yeah, there we go. All right, it's a vibe. It's a vibe. Is there a lighter emoji? All right, when can we rave again, guys? I need a good rave. So yeah, that was pretty much BDE and what you can do with it. I'll open up the live chat for any Q&A, any questions you guys have. Oh, congrats to Delvin Hamrick, who won BDE and the bass pack. Big up, Alice. Someone call the fire station. I guess I'll show you one more trick I like to do with distorting these kind of things. What I like to do is add an audio effect rack and split the signal between the low and high frequencies. So I have this high-low split here. That way, well, I can solo the high frequencies. Yes, shouts out to Delvin for winning the BDE. So now I can take the high frequency and process it further. So it's running, our BDE is already running it pre band split. And I want to take that high frequency range and maybe do some interesting filtering. Let's see. Let's see if I have any good filter plugins here. I don't use this one very often, so. Yeah, I've been using multi-band compression a little more recently with my bass sound. So sometimes the way I design a bass sound, especially the more fuller bass sounds, such as foghorns, where it has more mid and high frequencies and there's not enough low frequencies in that bass sound. That's when I would use multi-band compression, and I would single out those low frequencies, and that way I can compress it and then bring it up so that it matches or is a little more balanced with the rest of the signal. So there's some interesting shapes here. Looks like there's some presets we can access here. I'm not sure how much is Shaper Box. I haven't checked for a while. You just have to play around until you find something that's good. lot more fun stuff you can do with. Because once you've distorted the signal, you have so much harmonic content to apply filtering and get your bass to sound more expressive, right? I'm just randomly doing this. I don't really know what I'm doing here. That sounds better. Yeah, so that is BDE. As you can see, it's a very fun plugin to play with, easy to use. You can get some good results right away with a few simple clicks to the plugin. The main thing is choosing the parameter, adjusting the right input amount, and then increasing the main knob here, which is the drive amount. And then you have some filtering capabilities to shape your signal pre and post. So simple to use and fun to use as well. So shouts out to DJ Swivel for providing this nice tool. And yeah, I think that pretty much is for today's stream. Pretty much what I wanted to show you. You can use this on bass sounds, 808s, Reese's, drum sounds, drum breaks, amens, funk loops, whatever you want, pretty much. Use it wisely. Don't overdo it. If you put it on too many things, then it gets a bit too noisy. So that's why I limit it to maybe a bass and maybe the drums to kind of bring a little more life to the sounds. And as you can see, you can get some pretty cool and creative results. So yeah, that's pretty much for today's stream. Just want to thank you to ADSR once again for having me on their channel and doing the stream and showing you guys around. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the process of using BDE and me making some tunes with it. We started with a bit of trap and we went into some drum and bass and jungle. I hope you guys liked it. And once again, BDE is for sale on the ADSR online shop. It's $40 off today, and you can check it out in the link in the description. Also, we have Vitals preset pack by ADSR. If you like some of the sounds I used today, that is also available in the link in the description. So check it out. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in today. And until then, I'll see you at the next stream. Peace.